Welcome to Speedy Walkthroughs, where we show just the important stuff for beating the game. For first time viewers, this will look different to a normal walkthrough. It shows just the essentials, so you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. And today we're playing Mega Man 3 for the NES. Before we get stuck into it, if you like this video, consider subscribing to keep up to date. Helps out the channel a whole bunch, and there's a new walkthrough out each week. Now, on its own, you won't necessarily need a walkthrough to figure out where to go in this game. It's very linear. But depending what order you do everything in this game, it could be really hard or really easy. So the game has a bit of a rock, paper, scissors system with different bosses being weak to different weapons. So there's a little table there if you're curious. I'm going to be showing you a way through the game, which makes it a lot easier than it otherwise would be just going in randomly. And along the way, I'll show you some specific strategies for how to get through tricky parts on the game. Now we start off the game on this select screen. You can select which level you go to first. I'm going to go to Megaman on the bottom. Alright, so starting out the level, you've got your Mega Man controls. So you can jump with the A button, you can shoot with the B button, move left and right with the D-pad. There's a new move in this game, it's sliding. So you'll see me do a couple of slides here. There's one and here's another one, for example. To do that, you just press down with the B button. And it makes you move a little bit quicker. You can also use it to get out of the way of bosses quickly, dodge projectiles, and get under little tunnel areas. We come into this first bit, which is a fight. So basically, you just got to keep hitting with your normal shots. There's nothing else you can really do here. Once that's all done, the floor will open up. You can drop straight down. I'm just going to damage boost through some of these enemies because it's not really worth stopping to fight the bigger ones. If you want, you can take care of them. Drop down that little bit of ladder there, and you got health power-ups here. So you can see why I took the damage before. These blocks will come up gradually. You got to follow the same path I'm following through there. And jump up on there. It's going to head up this ladder, damage boost through him as well. Now, we don't have any weapons which are good against this boss yet, so you've literally just got to sit here and do your normal shot against him. And run away whenever he does his magnet thing, and then keep going like this. So every time you beat a boss, you'll get their weapon. You can pause the game and select their weapon to use it. Now you get the magnet missile here and a password. I'm going to select the boss on the left, Hard Man, as our next level. And basically we're going to be doing these levels in the order where we have strengths against whatever the bosses are. So you can actually despawn those enemies by putting them off the side of the screen. It's a really cool strategy to not have to deal with it. We're going to use a rush coil there to jump. That's the RC in the pause menu. It's like a little high jump thing. And then you slide under that thing. With those enemies, you want to hit the top of them. That's how you get through. And again, with those little enemies, just despawn them off the right side of the screen. We got another fight here. Just let him jump over you and deal damage continuously. Get a little health power up straight after it. Okay. So we're into the boss fight here. You're going to swap in the pause menu down to MA, and then that's going to be super effective against this boss here. So we get a new weapon and we'll get a password. Alright, next level we're doing is on the right. That's Top Man. Alright, so head through all the enemies here. If you ever find yourself low on health, you can kill enemies over and over again, and you'll likely get a health power up. Drop down through here and off to the right. Go through all those platforms and we're into the boss. Alright, once we're into the boss arena, we got to pause and select HA, that's the Hard Man ability, and it's super effective, so you'll be able to take care of the boss pretty easily. Alright, once we've done that, new ability and a password. I'm going to head down to the bottom right, that's Shadow Man, and we'll head into this level. Okay, so drop down there, just off to the right, hit them on the head to get through. You got another fight here. Once that fight's over, just drop down to the bottom left there. And the room's going to go dark here, so just keep progressing through. Try and remember what the layout looks like at all times so that you know when it goes dark what to do. Okay, jumping across little gaps here. Alright, so just keep heading through here and then we're going to get into the boss room. Okay, coming up against this boss, we're going to swap to TO. TO is super effective, so that takes out the boss pretty quickly. And an upgrade and a password. We get Rush Marine as well, which is good for going through any water sections. Next, I'm going to go top left. That's Sparkman. Alright, in the level, just climb out the ladders here. Make your way across to the right. Alright, we've got the platforms here, so watch for the directions they go. And then keep progressing on through. Watch out for these blocks here. You can get rid of them by shooting at them if they do block your path. If you're quick enough, you can get through. So I'm going to go SH for the weapon here, for the boss. And that takes care of the boss pretty quickly. Alright, so we get a weapon upgrade and a password. Next we'll go to the very top stage, Snake Man. Alright, into this level. You want to take care of the snake heads just by hitting them on the top. And that opens up paths for you to get through. This one here is a similar thing, just keep shooting at it till it goes. Alright, these guys will jump over you, so just let them do that. And those bull throwy guys are only vulnerable when they've thrown the thing, so not when they're like spinning the thing above their head. Alright, climb up all these ladders and make our way through. You gotta wait for the rising cloud platforms. Just be careful. Sometimes it looks like you can make a jump and you can't, and you get caught out by that. I'm gonna go through to SH. That's a weapon here. Alright, since this is the boss's weakness, you'll take care of it pretty quickly, and then we move on. Alright, we get our snake upgrade, and we get a password. Next up, we'll see Gemini Man on the bottom left. So into this level, set to the right. Watch out for these guys. If you want, you can wait for the fire to go down before you progress on forward. If not, just damage boost through it. Alright, keep heading off to the right. Alright, so we're going to drop down here. Now, with these things, you basically have to shoot out each individual one. This level's kind of annoying for that reason. But just work through that. If you want, you can slide through, and that saves you shooting out more than you'd otherwise have to. Right into the water. I'm actually going to use the Rush Marine in here. This is a really good way to get through this section. So you might as well use a Rush Marine if there's water around. Alright, jumping up over this. Now the weapon we're swapping to for this boss is SN for Snake. That's its weakness. So I'll put that SN, and basically it's just going to spit out a whole bunch of snakes, so you can take care of it like that. Alright, we get a new upgrade and a password, and there's only one level left. It's Needle Man on the top right. So we'll go into here. I saw those look like Bowser for some reason. Anyway, head down. Alright, dropping through here, you got to slide under these bits. There's an energy tank there if you want it. And we're into the boss area. Alright, so a GE for Gemini. And that laser will bounce off the wall, so you can use that to take care of the boss. Alright, we get the Needle Cannon and Rush Jet. And we're up to the Wily stages. So, well, sort of. We've got to go to each 4 of these. So I'm going to go to the top left one first there. So we head over into the top left. First thing you got to do is equip RC, Rush Coil, and that'll help you bounce up here. There's no real other way to get up. And heading through the right, through this section. Sliding under all these gaps here. And we're into like a boss area. So we can see that there's like another robot which goes into this robot. We're going to use Magnet against that boss there. MA for Magnet. Once we've done that, just slide through this bit, try not to hit the spikes. And try and dodge all these enemies as you go. And we're coming across another boss there. Okay. Going to go across GE, Gemini Laser. And that's the level done. Alright, we're going to go top right into the Needle Man stage. Okay, just head through, watch out for the spikes. You drop down here and slide through those bits. Going to use RC to jump up there, and up there as well, and up here. And we're into this boss. So this boss is also MA for magnet. Take care of that, and we head on through. We can use a rush jet to get through this section. We kind of have to use it to get through this section. And grab the power-ups. With the power-ups, it's whatever weapon you're currently using. When you get the ammo refill, it'll refill the ammo for that weapon. So if you're low on a weapon, you can swap to it for the ammo refill. With this guy, just normal shots to get past him. There we go. Same sort of thing here. And into the boss area. You might notice these are all the bosses from Mega Man 2 as well. Alright, so we're selecting HA. And that's the little punchy glove thing. And that'll take care of the boss pretty good. Now we get a password. Next we're going to go bottom left in Gemini Man. Alright, work your way through this. Same sort of stuff as before, really. And drop down the gap there. You can slide through this now that you've opened that up. And same thing here, just slide through these. And come into our first boss bit. Alright, so this boss, it's NE for needle. And that's the super effective thing here. Now we can use RC to get up that gap and head on through. And we can use RM, Rush Marine, to get through the water a little bit nicer. Alright, swap back to normal here. You can jump up to that ladder. Alright, and coming towards another boss. Alright, so it's SP for this boss. That's like the spark thing. And then just take care of this and we should be done the level. Alright, we'll get a password and there's only one level left to pick, so just that one on the bottom right. Alright, drop down here. Just going to climb up here, watching out for the spikes. Let that guy jump over you, no point trying to beat him. And these platforms will sort of open up as you jump on them, so just a quick jump and then jump off again. And drop off the ladder. And we're into our first boss of this level. Now it was Needle that was swept through there, NE. That's going to be super effective. So wait till he fires off his shield before you try and deal damage. And we'll keep heading through. So we're going to use a magnet to get through this section. It's a pretty good weapon for it. And we might as well just keep using magnet through the rest of this little bit. Back to normal shot once you run out of ammo. And we can go into this boss section. So you're going to go across to the bottom one there. It's SH right on the bottom. And that'll take care of this boss. Alright, so we'll have this fight here, just normal shots to get through this one. Let him jump over you and stuff, and we get a little cutscene. Alright, so now we sort of get the Wily stages here. These stages you have to play in order, you don't really get a choice about it. Alright, so lower gravity in the water, just watch out for that. And we jump up. Alright, hitting those guys when their eyes open. And we got a block puzzle to get through there. And we're into this boss here. So this boss is SH down the bottom left. And that should take care of it. Just wait till it throws those things at you and then use the weapon on them. Alright, next one, we got those platforms that'll open up. And on the right hand side here, just slide through there. Watch out for these chompy things. You got the rush jet, that's RJ in the pause menu. You can get the energy tanks if you want and make sure you get the ammo upgrades. Alright. It's HA, little punching glove thing that you want for this one. So let him come in with all of his blocks, and then as soon as he spawns in, it's HA right into the eye. You can get 2 shots off if you're really quick. And same thing. The block should always come in pretty much the same, well, similar patterns. So try and memorize what he's doing. Alright, next level here. RC, just to jump up there. Keep going up, another RC to get through. Watch for this room that'll go dark. Drop down through here. And we can make our way up through these moving block puzzles. And we have fake Megamans. So I used SN for snake. That seems to be a pretty good weapon to deal with these, because the snakes sort of like run into the Megamans there. Alright, next level, just drop down here. Normal shots on that guy. Same as this one. And that one. Drop into the boss door. And we'll drop down, we got a little boss rush. So start on the top left. These are the same weaknesses as before, but I will point out which ones to use. So across here, GE for Gemini. Once you've done that, drop 1 down into this one. You got Magnet Man. Alright, so SP for Spark. Drop another 1 down. Alright, so we're going SN for Snake on this one. Go 1 to the right, just keep going anti-clockwise. Alright, down to the magnet, that's MA. Alright, 1 more to the right. Gonna go HA, and that's the little punching glove one. Moving off to the right 1 more. Right up through here, we got TO, that's top. Up 1. Alright, back to Spark for this one. And up another 1. Alright, so we've got Snake Man here. Heading to Needle NE. Alright, once you've done that, you go to the door on the right and that'll open. Then we want to go up into this. You'll get some upgrades, so I'm going to upgrade top, that's TO. Alright, so when this level loads in, you're going to swap to HA, which is that punch thing. And make sure you've got all of it restored, like all the ammunition from the very top bit. And then basically just jump and use the punch on that little cannon thing down the bottom. Once you've done that, wait till he drops down and use the punch on the glass bit at the top. You can go underneath if you want, like sliding underneath. There we go, glass bit up the top. Alright, we'll unlock an extra level here. So I'm going to go to TO for top, and I'm also going to restore the punch thing, so the HA. Now a couple things we got to do here. So we got to make a rush coil to jump up. You want to go HA to punch the very top of it. And so you're going to use HA for that first bit. And then we're going to go TO, so spinning top. And you basically just want to jump into Wily and like spin into him like that. And that'll take care of the boss. Alright, now that that's done, we got us a couple more cutscenes and then we have the credits. That's going to be all for this video. Hope you found it useful and thanks so much for watching.